Yo, what up, what up, what up?
They took my fucking money.
Let's get money, motherfucker, get money. Get money, motherfucker, get money. Let's get money, motherfucker, get money.
What is going on, everybody?
Get money, motherfucker, get
How we doing today? How is everybody doing today? Check 1 2, test 1 2. Check 1 2, test 1 2.
Let's get money, motherfucker, get money. Get money, motherfucker, get money. Let's get money, motherfucker, get money. Get money, motherfucker, get money.
How's everybody doing today? I'm starting to finally feel better, like better, you know? It's about time.
Let's get
Money, motherfucker, get money.
Let's get money, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Get money.
I kind of like this song.
Get money.
It's got some bad words in it, but I do like it.
Let's get money, motherfucker. Get money. Get money, motherfucker.
Get money. Hello? Somebody's knocking on the door.
Get money, motherfucker. Get money.
I think I may have found a good short move, but delisted from Coinbase. May make some quick money NFA. Oh yeah? A lot of good things are not listed on Coinbase. So I don't know. That's up to you if you want to use Coinbase or not. But there's a lot of things that are not included on Coinbase. So keep that in mind, FYI. Oh man. So today's going to be a little bit shorter live than we're used to doing. Normally we do about 4 hours. I'm going to try to cut it down as low as I can because we are working on the studio right now. And so we'll be moving some equipment. I do not know if we're going to be live tomorrow. There's a 99% chance we will. There's like a 1% chance we won't, but just an FYI, guys. So if you're not subscribed on TikTok and you're looking to get the information of what's going on, you're going to want to be subscribed, get those daily price point videos. And how you guys liking the memes? I posted some new memes. If you guys saw the memes, I've been trying to make more since I'm banned on TikTok, trying to get something out there to keep the show alive. Let's see here. So XRP, it looks like we came and we hit the blue line here. Just like I said, we probably would yesterday, that it was a 50-50 maybe. And just like I said, 225-ish. And we popped right back up and then right back down. Now let's go into the 1 hour here and take a look. Let's see what's going on. I'm having some serious technical issues with the computer. I don't know what's going on. We may end up just killing the live tomorrow just because I need to have the computer looked at. The IT guy just got done working on it 5 minutes ago, right before the show, and I actually lost. So I set the whole show up every day in the morning, and I put all the news together, and all of the news articles have been lost, and I had to start over from scratch. But I did find most of the articles, but a lot of it's been lost, so we will be doing a shorter live. But we've been having some issues here. So what I'm thinking here is we'll probably, we hit about 225 here, and we're headed back down right below the line here. This is a descending channel, which could send us back up here again to 225, and we could double top right there and come back down, or we drop down from here and we hit that 212, 215 mark, and we double bottom and then come back up. But if we double bottom, that would put us at 230. If we double top, that would put us at 225-ish, and then back down to 215. But if we lose support right here at 212 and we start heading towards 210, I think it's done. It's cooked. But as long as we're staying above 210, I think we're okay. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see. But this is, I wouldn't call it a bull flag, but it is a bit of a flag formation. That's in the 1 hour though. Let's put it in 4 hours. So 4 hours looks a bit more like a flag, kind of. More like a channel than a flag, but it is a flag of sorts. And that would indicate upward movement. That would indicate that we'd probably hit 225 again. And then if we hit 225 again and we stay above the blue line, then we're looking for upward movement to 235, 240, 245. But we have to just wait and see. This does kind of look, so we had this head and shoulders right here, and look, now it's being followed by what looks like another inverted head and shoulders. So if this pumps up right here, I would say it could more than likely keep going up to 230, and that would be an inverted head and shoulders. That could put us at 230. But does that mean that, you know, we're bullish again and everything? No. I think short term we could be bullish. And, you know, this was something I said yesterday that could possibly happen. And it looks like that might be the case, especially if this is a flag or a descending wedge or channel or wedge, whatever you want to call it. That would send us up. And this would be in the 4 hour time frame. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the next day, by the second. And I've been hearing a lot of things that, you know, the whole sentiment is bullish. All the news, everybody's saying, oh, all these crazy things. That leads me to believe that we may be turning bearish. And we've had a move all the way from 163. And it's just been up, you know. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we have, you know, room for one more wave move, push upward. I think we could see one more up, and that would put us at, you know, 240. But the further time goes by, the less likely it's going to go higher. So 247, I think, is, if it does do 247 or 245, it's going to wick out of here, and then the candle will close underneath the blue line. So we keep that in mind. And because, so we had our structure here. Let me get rid of our little head and shoulders here. We had our structure And our wedge was like this, right? Had our wedge. Nice little wedge here. However, we broke out and we could be breaking down from that wedge still. Or the wedge could be out here like this. And let's say it is. Let's say that the wedge is more like that. That would mean we have room for a few more, at least one more good push up here to 240, 235, and then come back down. And if this is a head and shoulders or it is a double bottom, that's what we would see. Do I think we'll double bottom? I don't know. I really feel like this line is this lower one because we didn't have, but there's a lot. It was really, really riding on this one. And it seems like that's more like what it's doing. It just popped out a little bit, little bear trap, and it's popping back in. And I think it's got room for one more move up before it comes back down. And because we've made this adjustment here, X marks the spot. So that would be the third. So that means we would head and shoulders, move up, and then from there, we would either break upward or downward. So right now it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50. It can go either way. This is a very crucial moment. However, I do feel like this is probably more accurate. Something like that. Or like here. Because we didn't have enough candles formed on it, you know? We didn't have enough. And so we were following a different trend line. And now it seems to be widening up. But the more it widens up, the bigger the fall it's going to be when it does fall. So if this thing's just getting wider coming up here and how sharp of an upward tick this thing is, when this thing breaks, it's going to break so hard. And if it does break, it's probably going to break right here, right here. Probably 235, 237. So it would move side upward a little bit, probably touch up here at like 240 and then make its way down close here and then consolidate a little bit and then break down there. But I would say that's probably the breaking point is maybe the 13th of May. So we'll have to wait and see. It could break from here. This could be a much smaller structure. This could be like that. And it's already breaking. Keep that in mind. If it is like this, it's already breaking. And it's reached its end. So we'll have to see. Keep an eye on it. But I think there's an adjustment that needs to be made here. Or something more along the lines of this. Let's see here. That would be May 13th at 1 a.m. Man, that lines up. Let's see, what day of the week is that? That's a Tuesday. That kind of lines up. It kind of lines up because we've been dropping on Wednesdays and we've been pumping on Sundays now. So that seems to line up. I think it's got some more steam in it. I think it does. Possibly. It's also, it could be a trap. Let's say it does break downward here. 219. Possibly. But also, as you can see, it tried to come up here and it hit resistance at this line right here. Hit resistance. And it's pushing its way back down. But it's also forming that bit of a flag thing, which it would need a formation like this to push it above this line. But even if that is a flag, it would only take it to like 230. So it would have to make a new formation here at about 229, 230 to push it up even further. So keep that in mind. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like a bullish push. It looks like we were flagging. However, okay, if this does this, if we come up here like this, then we see. If it comes up here like this, and then it, why is it drawing? It's not letting me draw. Try this. Man, my computer is just is not working. We may have to cut the live today. I can't. I've been dealing with IT problems all day today. Okay, let's try that. So if it comes down like that and then back up and that would be a diamond top. All right. And that means it would probably hit, you know, 99 to 100,000, and then it would be done. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. This could be the formation of a diamond top. And I have a feeling it will be, because that would put us, we would touch that $100,000 mark, which is basically like the $2 mark on XRP. It's one of those psychological points. So $100,000 Bitcoin, or just under, probably 99,000, 99.7, something like that, 99.5. It could wick into 100,000. It could definitely wick into 100,000. But that's what I'm thinking this is forming right now. This looks like it would be forming a diamond top pattern. So we'll just have to keep an eye over the next couple days. This puts us into where? Thursday, Wednesday. Yeah, so it's not going to happen this weekend. But look, this lines up with Sunday drop, or, you know, Sunday, Monday for Bitcoin, and then a pump on Wednesday, Thursday, and then back down on the weekend. It lines up perfectly. Perfectly. So keep that in mind, guys. Do we have room for another push? Yeah, I think there is room for another lower entry on Bitcoin around 191-ish, or excuse me, 91-ish, 92-ish. And that entry right there would take us up to somewhere just under 100K or 100K. And then that would be your time to get out. And if it does consolidate from there at about 95, again, assume the break downward. If it does break up from there and it hits 100K and it breaks upward, then more than likely, wherever it went to, it'll retrace back to 100K as support. And then it would retrace back up to that new spot, and it would continue upward. So you would have the ability to get out at 100K, see what it does, and whatever it does, it's going to retrace. So if it does pump up to, you know, let's say 104, it would retrace back to 100K. You could get back in and ride it up from 100K or just above it to 104 and beyond it. Because if it starts doing that kind of stuff, expect everything to just pump through the month of May. What's up, TikTok Sella? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. You enjoying those email notifications? I hope so. I'm doing good. I feel a lot better. Yeah, the email thing is pretty awesome. It's a lot of extra work, but definitely cool, so that you guys are getting those notifications right away. Obviously, right now things are a little slow and we don't really know what's going on, but when it does happen, it's going to happen in the middle of the night. It's going to happen at some weird hour. It's going to happen when you're not paying attention to the charts or you're not paying attention to your phone. And unless you get that little ding, you have a new email, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. And whichever way it breaks right now, whether it's Bitcoin, XRP, any crypto you're into, whichever way it breaks and it moves, it's going to be big. Okay? And there will be lots of money to be lost or made. This will make or break things. So definitely sign up for those email alerts, guys. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. You send me your email on TikTok as a deluxe subscriber, and every time I post a video, you're going to get an email notification. And you have to set up your email notifications. You have to make sure that they're going to ding and you're going to get notified for it. Okay. You got to make sure it's not in your spam folder, all that stuff. That's on your end. But you will get an email every time. And that little ding is going to make you money. I already know lots of you have been making money. It's like $2 a month, literally dirt cheap. Yeah. $2 a month for a little notification that could potentially save you or make you lots and lots of money. It pays for itself. Everything I do, I try to put them as low as possible. But I am, I'm manually doing all of this right now. Once we have it, like enough people signed up or enough people are donating or we're actually producing revenue with the show, I'm going to offer it for free. But in the meantime, probably for the next 6 months, it's going to have to cost $1.99. Okay, $1, $2. That's less than a cup of coffee, and it's once a month. It's literally nothing. So if you do want to get in on that, let me know. Send me a message with your email. A few of you signed up yesterday, and thank you. I appreciate it. And for those of you, when you are signing up, a lot of people, they're like, oh, it's $2 to sign up, and they send a donation along with it. Thank you very much for those donations. Much appreciated. That is what's keeping this show alive, is your donations. We are supported by viewers like you. We're PBS, baby. We are PBS. All right, let's check out the news. Let's check out the news. I signed up, but I don't think it's working because, okay, I will have that checked out. Kodak 70. Who are you on TikTok? I'm pretty sure you're on the list. Let me double check that right now while we're live here. This is the customer service I provide, guys. If you guys tell me something, I'm going to be on top of it. I'm here to take care of you guys and make sure things are dealt with. Let's see here. Kodak 59. Kodak, did you send your payment? Kodak, I got your message that you wanted to sign up, and I sent you the instruction guide, but I never received your payment. So I'm going to resend you the instructions. And once you send that payment, then you will be signed up. So it does cost $1.99. So Kodak, once I hear from you, I will get it taken care of. Yes, sent right now. Literally that fast. I'm on top of it, guys. I aim to please. I aim to make sure that you guys are getting not only what you pay for, but you're getting, these price point videos, because a lot of people are not getting the information till hours, sometimes days later, and it's too late. It's too late if you're getting it like that. So this is a way to mitigate that slippage, and we're going to grow. We're going to grow, and this is going to grow, and this is going to become something much bigger. And one day I aim to offer all of these services for free. Once these platforms that we're on, like Twitch or TikTok or YouTube or whatever, start generating that revenue that we need, all those services, I want them to be included and free, because I want it to be where if you're signed up for something, or, we may be doing if we move away from TikTok and we're not doing subscriptions anymore for TikTok, it may be just the email mailing list. So you won't be paying for your TikTok subscription anymore. You'd be paying for the email mailing list instead then. So we're kind of transitioning. I'm not quite sure how everything is going to work yet, but we're taking it one day at a time. But those of you that are using the system already are loving it. I get plenty of happy messages from everyone that signed up. So remember, if you do sign up, make sure that you follow through, and you have to, sign up. And when you send your payment, you have to link your username from TikTok or Twitch or whatever. And then you have to also put your email so that way you get put onto the list. Okay. If you just send me money, I'm just going to assume it's a donation. But when I see your username and your email there, that's going to let me know, okay, this person signed up for the service. And obviously, if I see that $1.99 charge, I'm probably going to follow up with you. I just sent my email to you as Ken. Perfect. Perfect. That's on TikTok. So after the show, I'll get all of those set up, guys. And you're going to want to be set up now. Okay. It's the first of the month. Take advantage of having the full month paid for because the days are not prorated. All right. Get advantage of the full month. And then on top of it, you're going to get the advantage of, we are moving into high stakes. This box right here, our little, what is this, parallelogram or something? What do you call these things? This little uneven box. What's up, B? This uneven box right here is crucial. And this X right here is crucial. This X, when these things line up like this and we have these formations, I always tell you guys, X marks the spot. X marks the spot. And we are coming up on the X. We're coming into this box. Okay. When that happens, that's when you need to be vigilant. That's when you need to be watching the charts. That's when you need to be getting notifications. So if you wait a week from now, it could be too late and you miss a big movement because we are in limbo right now and we are on the verge of either falling off of a cliff or skyrocketing to the moon. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to tell you? We could literally see $5, $7, $8. It could happen. It is possible. Okay. But we have to be paying attention and know, and we don't want to be jumping in and FOMOing in, and then we just dump to $1.30. He says, just got back from training with my service dog. Nice. I have a dog. I'm actually training to do service stuff. So I'm training her to walk between my legs while I carry and obey commands. I'm teaching her how to run forward and like jump onto somebody's chest to like kick them and push them down and different things. So there's a guy on TikTok, I forget his name is, I'll shout it out though, but he does those videos on how to train your dog or like tactical training. And so me and my puppy, I've had her for about a year, and we're finally getting into the more advanced training of for tactical training. So she is, and she's a bulldog. She is a bull. She will bite you. I'll leave that to the professionals. I'm a professional, man. That's what I do. Everything I do is professional. I figured, sure, I could pay somebody to train my dog, but I'd rather train my dog myself, and it's just us playing. You know, you're teaching the dog how to do these things by teaching them that the things that you're doing is a game that you're playing, and there's a reward that comes with it. It's very simple, very easy. You can train your dog to do anything. It's amazing. And my dog, she is so good. She's so obedient. My oldest son, he was like, oh, she's too old to be trained. I'm like, she's 2 years old. Like, she's a baby. She hasn't even learned anything yet. But I do love spending time with the dog and hanging out with her. She's good. She sleeps at the foot of the bed every night. My little guard dog. She does not like the Amazon guy. She is not a fan. All right, so notifications. Make sure you have your notifications set on. Make sure you guys sign up. All right, and for those of you, when you sign up and you're sending those donations, thank you very much. That is keeping us going. You are keeping the show alive. All right, let's read some news. By the way, how's the audio? I've been fine-tuning everything. It sounds so good to me right now. I'm actually very happy with the audio today. But you all know I'm an audio engineer, so I'm quite a stickler. I also got new mics for the fact checker coming in. So on Monday, when we have the fact checker in the background or whatever, you'll be able to hear her voice when she fact checks our things and goes through. So she'll be a part of the show. Also, I got those microphones because I will be doing lives from the street. Here, let me pull this away for a second. I'm going to be doing on the street interviews with random people, talking to them about the war, and we're going to be talking about crypto. We're going to be talking about politics and social constructs, just different things. That's all coming very soon. I believe the first show where we do the interviews like that will be the Vegas show on June 2nd. So June 2nd, when we do the meet and greet, those of you who want to be on the show that day can show up, and we'll be doing the meet and greet that day. And also we'll be interviewing random people, asking them, are you into crypto? What are you holding? What are, how do you feel about these projects and certain things? And it's going to be a whole thing. So I'm thinking once a month to start, we'll do an on location interview style investigative journalism thing, of just to kind of get a consensus of what is in the minds of the everyday person, because that's another thing, like how we're trying to, you know, come up with the sentiment of, are we in a recession, or are we in a depression, or are we in an economic boom? We get those answers by asking everyday people, because if you ask the news, they're going to lie to you. So we are the news now. So that's how it's going to be. And it'll be super fun. And if you guys want to sign up to be a guest on the show, like B, for instance, you have equipment and everything. If you, we're going to try to set up where we can maybe do bring on people who want to talk and, have like a co-host type thing and an interview type of interaction. I do want this show to grow. I want it to be more than just me talking and riffing and reading the news and reading the charts. I want to have a more in-depth look into things, and I want to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear what the average everyday person has to say. I want to hear what people who have lots of money have to say. So that's why we're going to be going to different places, different areas. We'll be going, you know, to expensive, high-end retail style, you know, Beverly Hills style outlet stores, Louis Vuitton and Gucci, whatever. Going to those places, interviewing people and asking them the same questions as the people in the grocery store, as the people at the post office, wherever it is we may go, so that way we can cross-reference and see what the differences are. See, you know, does it matter where you go, or is everything the same? Because that's partially for me why I want to do that. One, it's entertainment for the show, but two, I need that data. We need that data for better understanding of where the markets are going. And then at the top, on top of all that, we are spreading the word of the show, and we are spreading the word of crypto and XRP and bringing more people into it. So that's the idea, is to help people gain generational wealth. That's why we have this show. That's why we're doing all of this. We want you to become rich, because I do not want you to live in the pod and eat the bugs. So back to the news. Back to news. All right, this one reads it for me, so I get to rest my voice a little bit. By the way, I've been doing more. There's other articles that say the same thing that I could read them out to you, but my voice is still recovering, so I've been choosing the ones that have the AI thing in it. And if I feel like I need to chime in on it, I will say something. BTC reached 79K again. Oh, I know. And I think Bitcoin's probably going to hit 100K, form a diamond top, and then come back down. And we'll go over that one more time. But good eye, Don. Good eye. I do think that we're going to be Bitcoin 100K is so stupid. I know, right? But you know, it's a collector's item, guys. It's a meme coin. It's a collectible. Think about it. I have collectible cars that are worth $100,000. Why not? Right? Like, most people only own fractions. All right, so federal crypto legislation could come with a New York state of mind. Let's take a listen.
Federal crypto legislation could come with a New York state of mind. Love it or leave it, New York State has been a force in crypto regulation. 10 years ago, the state created the United States' first comprehensive regulatory framework for firms dealing in cryptocurrencies, including key consumer protection, anti-money laundering compliance and cybersecurity guidelines. In September 2015, the New York Department of Financial Services, NIDFS, issued its first BIT license to Circle Internet Financial, enabling the company to conduct digital currency business activity in the state. Ripple Markets received the second BIT license in 2016. Circle and Ripple went on to become giant players in the global cryptocurrency and stablecoin industry. Today, the NIDFS regulates one of the largest pools of crypto firms in the world, and it is often cited as the gold standard for crypto regulation in the U.S. It's against that background that Ken Coghill, NIDFS's deputy superintendent for virtual currencies, appeared at Cornell Tech's blockchain conference on April 25 to discuss a new era of U.S. innovation in crypto. We set the guardrails. Most of the firms that have come to the NIDFS for a BIT license are crypto-native firms, and often, they are new to the financial world and not used to dealing with regulators. Many times they don't fully understand that they are in control of someone else's asset, noted Coghill at the New York City conference, adding, "If you want to start a business and the only person you're putting at risk is your own business, that's not really our concern. We only exist because you're selling something to somebody else, and you're maintaining control over that product for someone else. We set the guardrails," Coghill said, "and it's the industry's job to figure out how to stay within those guardrails. The NIDFS can't possibly contemplate every element that's going to go wrong in a business." These days, more conventional financial institutions are becoming interested in crypto as well, added Coghill. Large banks are beginning to offer crypto custody services, and others are starting to provide settlement services. The conventional bank model is being brought into the crypto sphere, primarily because it makes people feel comfortable, said Coghill. Related, Trump's first 100 days worst in history despite crypto promises. And while the NIDFS has only issued 22 BIT licenses to date, it appears to be ready to handle a tide of applications from TradFi firms if and when they materialize. On a per capita basis, we have more supervisory resources focused on crypto businesses than we do for all of those other, non-crypto businesses, said Coghill. This includes 3,000 banks, insurance companies and other financial institutions. Dubai's crypto regulator. It wasn't a direct route that brought Coghill to the NIDFS in July 2024. He spent the previous 12 years in the Middle East working for the Dubai Financial Services Authority, eventually becoming the agency's head of innovation and technology risk supervision. It was a whim that took him to the Middle East in the first place, he recalled. "I went for 3 years and stayed for 12 years. Spending that time primarily as an official regulating global systemically important banks, or GSIBs. There, he was called upon to develop a cryptocurrency supervision model, and so he spent the last 6 years regulating cryptocurrency in the Middle East." The Dubai Financial Services Authority offices. Source, Condé Nast. Eventually, An opportunity arose to return to the U.S., where he had worked earlier as a manager in the Department of Market Regulation at the Chicago Board Options Exchange. Before that he was an options trader. He took the new assignment with the Tariffs, among other reasons, because the world looks to New York, and the world looks to the DFS when it comes to regulation, he told the Cornell Tech audience. Panel moderator Neil DeSilva asked Coghill what good regulation looks like. Good regulation is regulation that doesn't prohibit activity but that applies appropriate guardrails that reduces risk to clients, he answered. One can't eliminate risk entirely, to do so would quash all business activity. Related, institutions break up with Ethereum but keep ETH on the hook. He compares regulation to a pendulum constantly swinging between two extremes, too lenient and too restrictive. The pendulum swung too far to one end of the regulation in the last few years, i.e., too restrictive. Now it's swinging back. What does the state regulator make of the fevered regulatory activity in Washington, D.C. at the federal level these days? There seem to be some positive tailwinds behind cryptocurrencies and stablecoins, noted DeSilva, himself a former chief financial officer for PayPal's digital currencies and remittances business. A pipeline to Washington. For DFS, it's largely business as usual, Coghill commented. That's because New York State has long had crypto rules in place. In fact, much of what's happening now in Washington, at the federal level, is influenced by what we've done over the last 10 years at the state level. The state agency has regularly communicated with the powers that be in the U.S. Capitol regarding digital currencies. We have a team that practically sits in Washington and has discussions with congressional members, talking about what we think will work and what won't work. The ninth's crypto initiatives have influenced other U.S. states. California's crypto reform legislation, AB 1934, signed into law in late September 2024, for instance, builds on New York State's BitLicense and its limited-purpose trust charter regulations for digital currency businesses, even though BitLicense's licensing requirements are relatively strict. Not all in the crypto industry have been enamored with the state's crypto licensing regime, either, declaring BitLicense is too expensive. Its application fee is $5,000, too strict with its detailed anti-money laundering protocols and required audits and generally too much of an obstacle for innovative crypto-native firms. Crypto exchange Kraken exited the state when New York implemented its BitLicense requirement. For instance,
they just don't want to pay. They know they can go somewhere else and do it for free.
The actually looks at decentralized protocols compared with how it views the centralized financial institutions that it has historically regulated. It's important to look at the actual purpose of the product, Coghill answered. What's its underlying intent? Who does it serve, and what are its good and bad impacts? There are lots of innovations that are created for no purpose other than making a lot of money off of its customers, said Coghill. And so it's incumbent on us to filter those out. We're paid to look at everything in a dark way. It's not our job to look at and say, yes, this is fantastic. Rather, they examine a potential product and ask, how is this bad for efficiency? Or how is this bad for inclusion? How does he think things will play out at the federal level this year regarding crypto and stablecoin legislation? What's going to ultimately happen, in Washington, D.C.? Who knows? We could know 6 months from now. We could know things next week. Things have been changing very rapidly recently. In the meantime, we're still accepting applications. We're still processing those applications. We're still focusing on our underlying objectives, protecting the market, protecting the consumers, supporting innovation. Magazine, Crypto wanted to overthrow banks, now it's becoming them in stablecoin fight.
All right. That was something, huh? You know, like they said, regulation is somewhat already in place. However, the legislation process moves slowly, guys. It moves so slowly, especially on the federal level. It's going to take time for this stuff to happen. And we will get little bits. They'll say, oh, we're doing this, or oh, we're doing that, or we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about that. But really, the main meat and potatoes will be when something is voted on and whether or not it goes through. So, you know, buy the rumor, sell the news. And that's why we're pumping. Once we get that news, expect pullback, because I have a feeling a lot of this legislation won't be as bullish news as we hope for. It's regulation. It's going to be reeling in this space. It's not going to be so much the Wild West anymore. So I feel like these are our last opportunities to make these moves where we're going to be able to grow our bags before big things happen, and then that's it. I think a lot of things will stabilize. Everyone will start to get in. It will probably become to a point where it's not so much as do you want to use it, but you have to. And once that happens and everybody's into it and it's part of the system and it's the financial future of the entire world, things will stabilize. But because things are unstable, that is where the money is made. It's not about buying it and holding it long term. It's about making moves in smart money areas to double up, triple up, quadruple up. That's how it's done. Yes, we do want to buy in smart money zones such as XRP. You know, we want to be in here down in these levels, you know. We want to be buying down here, but we also can make money on the way down. There's lots of money to be made on the way down. And we need to be aware of that, you know, because most people are being fed this idea of all you got to do is buy a couple $100, leave it in there and forget about it, and you're going to be rich. That's not how crypto millionaires are made. Crypto millionaires are made by buying in smart money zones, riding it up, taking profits, putting it back in, and riding that volatility. And we're looking for those smart money zones. Let me get rid of the ghost here. All along the bottom here, all these wicks is where we're looking for buying. And up here, we're looking to take profits. Do you want to take everything out? Maybe. But not necessarily. You may want to keep a little bit in for a moon bag. I keep a moon bag, okay? I have plenty that I bought down here many, many years ago, all the way back here. I was buying it. All the way back here and even further back, okay? I bought some back in here, okay? All that stuff that I bought that's under $1 is my moon bag. It stays. What I put in and I play with along the lines here is a smaller bag because it is more risky. It's more volatile. And like I said, I like to make more smart moves. But when it does have these big drops down here, it does recover. It does shoot back up. And there is big opportunity to be made there. Now, do I catch all of them? No. I don't catch all of them, but we can catch some of them. We can catch the middles. You know, even if you didn't hit 163 here and you bought it $2, there was still money to be made there. It becomes more riskier, but there is potential. There is potential. There is money to be made. But also we have to keep in mind that this is a bearish trend. Okay, we have this downward channel. We have this bear flag ascending wedge, which is hella bearish, how steep it is and how wide it is. This is a heavy indication of downward movement. However, if this is a bull flag forming on top of this pole right here, if this is our pole and this is a bull flag forming, eventually it will break up. I do not think it's a bull flag. I do think it's a descending channel, and that would mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe we are pushing up out, but maybe this isn't 5. Maybe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that could be 10, 11, see, 6, 11 would be the push out. 10 would be the push up from there. I try not to go off of wave pattern, but it does kind of make sense, but it's hard to tell where those waves lie. It's a lot of speculative looking. I find the wave patterns more useful in the shorter time frame. These bigger time frames, it's a little bit harder for me. what I see is I see the trend and I see where the resistance and support is, and I use the news to gauge which direction it's going to go. Because you can look at these charts all day long, but the news is what really pushes it in whatever direction. And the fact that we're up here where we're at now because of fake news has me worried. Fake news is what has it up here. Everyone bought because they thought ETFs were approved, and they're not spot ETFs. They're just basically shorts. So it's scary. So Kodak, thank you for signing up for the email service. We are getting into a crucial point now, and you want to be on top of your game. You don't want to miss it. And let me tell you right now, the GOAT is going to know when it decides it's going to do it. We're going to know before it happens. This is where the email matters. Exactly. You know, when it's just memes and nonsense. Let's see here. Stand by, everyone. Just a moment. Sorry, guys. I had to take that call. That was Sweetwater. Do you guys know who Sweetwater is? They are they produce sound and studio equipment. So they are sending in the new equipment. I'm so excited. The studio is so close to being done. So close to being done. I'm so excited. And everything is growing so rapidly, so quickly. Yes, it's been very expensive, but it's all worth it. Well, I wish you guys could see the progress of what's going on. And that's why I'm trying to, you know, every day upgrade things a little bit, you know, with the equipment and the, you know, the little spooky ghost and the music and certain things, you know, and the audio quality. But very soon here, I mean, days away, we are days away from the camera, guys. The cameras being on, the lighting, everything. It's going to be shocking just how incredible all of this is becoming. And everything I'm doing is all coming from you guys. All of your donations, everything we've gotten is going directly back into building all of this. And it's finally like coming together. It's not just lumber and drywall. It's actually soundproof padding. It's lighting. It's carpet and sound curtains and all these crazy things. And it's all just coming in so quickly. This weekend is going to be a big weekend for building with the studio. I'm hoping that by Monday we may be moved into the studio, and the last wall will be the fourth wall that gets built, and it will be done. And I'm just so excited. I'm so excited for the fourth wall to be built and it just be done, because oh my gosh, it's been so stressful. I've been sick. It's just been a lot of work. And finally we're here. We're here, and we did it because of you guys. We did this together. This is because of you guys. And because you guys have been so amazing and so generous, I want to give that back to you. I want to build something that is going to be timeless. I want this show to grow, and I believe in you guys, and I believe in this show, and that's why I continue to put it into it, because all my profits from crypto, I'm pulling out the profits now, and instead of reinvesting them, I'm putting it into this business, into this show, because this show is my diversification. Because I know and I believe that we have something here. I know that this is going to be and is an incredible show. It's already changing lives. So many lives have been changed. I've heard so many stories from so many people that were like, man, I was bleeding out like crazy and I was eating the moon cheese, and you came along and I listened to what you said and I started making these trades, and now I'm either breaking even or making profit again. And everyone's stories are so grateful. Those of you who come, a lot of people, you know, you message me your life stories and you tell me your daily struggles and how you got clean and got yourselves off the streets and different things. And it's amazing to see how so many people are growing and progressing as human beings. And that's what this whole thing is about community and bringing each other together and uplifting each other. Breaking even is love to make profit. Hey, if you're just breaking even now, and a lot of people have taken massive losses, and they're breaking even now or turning profit. And we're just getting started. Imagine a few more months down the road, the exponential growth that you'll have from continuing to make these smarter trades, continuing to get the information and making a more educated trading style, and not just feeding into the hype or waiting for it to pump or whatever, but knowing what's happening before it happens. Guinea Marie says, I made profit before you, but breaking even now is not losing. Exactly. So you're saying you're breaking even because you're listening to me, or you're losing because of me? Small donation I made courtesy of Solana. Thank you, Kodak. Much appreciated. Thank you for those donations. You're losing? If you're losing, that's all right. We're going to turn it around. Mind you guys, I can't make these trades for you. Just one trade through. I haven't been in much. That's all right. We can wait and be patient. Now's not really the time to be jumping in right now. Maybe if we break out from here, we could see a time to jump in, and sure, we'll see $4, $5, $7. I'm just joking when I say this, but if we're hitting $5, $10, I better see some donations. I'm just kidding, by the way. You know, you guys give if you want to give. If not, no big deal. The biggest thing that you can do to give is to share the show with your friends and your family and those who you know are trading and are getting cooked, to help them as well. Help your fellow man. That's what this is all about, is helping each other, uplifting each other. But, you know, also, I'm just some guy on the internet, you know, so if you're not making trades right away because of me and you're kind of vetting things, you know, I get it. You know, vet it and see what works, you know, and make small trades and see how the system works. And if it's working for you, great. If it's not, say, hey, you're not doing it for me, and let's talk about it. Let's figure out what is going wrong. That's part of what you get with the coaching from me as a deluxe subscriber, is we can talk about these things and figure out what it is, the mistakes you are making, because I'm not making those trades for you. You know, you guys have to do this on your own. And the idea is to get you into a place where you understand what you're doing, because what I've noticed is a lot of people haven't figured out retracement. Okay. When things spike up and then they drop back down, they usually go back and retest those zones again. They touch them again. So you get more than one shot at things. It's just the first shot you get, if you catch it, you got it, you're done, you made it. The second one, you have to be a little bit more patient, and you have to be watching it and ready, or have your limit orders set right. And you may have to make finer adjustments on it. You came in late to the show or came in late on the trade? Oh, to the show? Right on. No worries. We're just getting going. We're just reading a little bit of news. What's up, Henry? Henry's one of my favorites too. You guys are all my favorites, by the way. I love you guys. Everyone that's here on Twitch, you're all my favorites. Like there's a few, we have other followers and stuff that are on TikTok, but the ones that come over here to Twitch, and it's not just because you're on Twitch, but you guys are the diehards, man. You guys are the real fans of this show, and I love it. I love it. And that's why I decided to do the meet and greet, because so many people are like, hey, I live close by. Where are you at? Like, let's meet up. Let's grab a beer. Let's do something. So I'm like, we gotta find a way to put face with the goat, you know? I want you to come meet the goat. So come out on June 2nd and let's hang out in Vegas. Let's have a good time. Let's play some games. Let's have a drink or whatever it is. Let's do the live together. Let's have you be on the show if you'd like. And let's go randomly film people. Come along, and maybe one of you can hold the camera for me. If somebody's got some camera experience or something like that, we can do it like that. You know, there's plenty that we can do. The world is our oyster, and this is my show. It's also your show. We can do things however we want because we are not confined by TikTok anymore. And I'm super excited to start doing the on location filming where we're going to be interviewing people. It's going to be awesome. The show is progressing. All right, let's see here. Next news article. Bearish sentiment on XRP. I think we're kind of in a limbo. I'm going to go over the charts one more time, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna talk some more, but I got some news to cover, and then let's wait for a few candles to form. We need a few more candles before we can make an educated decision. And the reason why I do the show from 5 to 9 is because usually by the end of the show at 9 o'clock, we have enough candles for the next day because of the time zone. The next day candle starts forming, and it gives us more data so that way we can be a little bit more informed, and we can kind of get an understanding and a sentiment of what's happening for the next day and what's going to happen while we're asleep if you're on this side of the world. Asians wake up. Exactly. That's why it's always at midnight to 3 a.m. big things are happening, because that's the early morning hours for Asian markets, for New York's markets. But lately, it seems like Asian markets have been pumping instead of dumping, but that will turn around eventually. It always does. I had to wet my whistle. All right, let's see here. XRP versus SEC Ripple chairman to meet SEC chair Paul Atkins. Though the official agenda of the meeting is yet to be known, there is hope that this is the start of a resolution of the long-standing SEC versus Ripple case. Do I think they're going to mention it? Probably. Is it going to be a resolution? Probably not. You know, we have till it was a 60-day thing. I think it's April. My fact checker's not in the studio right now. If one of my fact checkers is watching the show right now, if you could come chime into the studio and find out what date it is. I believe it's August 16th off the top of my head. I don't know if any of my fact checkers are on right now. We're a little low staffed. I did have to make some cutbacks because of getting removed from TikTok. But I do have some people that are working remotely from home that are watching and monitoring. So we'll see if anybody chimes in with that information. If not, no big deal. I believe it's August, though. So August, we should be getting... I wouldn't even say confirmation. It'll just be another court case where it'll be like, okay, we're moving to do this, and this motion is set forward, and then it'll be another day, and it'll be a month to 3 months out from there, and it'll be months after that and months after that. But so I don't even expect any kind of resolution from the Ripple case, like a firm injunction removed, case settled, everything moved on months down the road. Okay. All the people that are FOMOing and buying, it's all based off speculation, which is great. That's when you buy the rumor, you sell the news. I don't think the news is going to be as bullish as everyone's hoping. I have a feeling that it's still going to be where Ripple can't sell to institutions. XRP anyway. So until there's some type of legislation from Congress, I don't think that is going to change. But when that does happen, because I think it will, I think Congress will change lots of rules. A lot of things are going to change, but we have no real set groundwork other than what's like been happening in New York, like we watched and read about in the last article. We have no real understanding of what they're going to do. However, they do have a framework that they've been using for now. Will it pass through Congress? That's the real question. And more than likely, I'd say these things are either going to get pushed out or they're going to get screwed up at first. Because I don't trust the government. They get everything wrong, especially the first time. But who knows? I'm a little pessimistic about it, but I just don't think that anything is happening anytime soon. I think we have lots and lots of room for growth. So it takes time. We have to be patient. That is the main thing. I keep trying to tell you guys, be patient. Don't FOMO. Just relax. Things will happen when they're intended to. Ripple Executive Chairman Chris Larsen will reportedly meet with the new Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Paul Atkins on May 2nd. Rumor Brad Garlinghouse to sit on the Crypto Council. I think he already is on the Crypto Summit. I think that's already been confirmed. I believe he was supposed to be at the first one and didn't make it, or it was that he wasn't mentioned, but he was there. And I really need a fact checker today. This is one of those days where I need a fact checker and no one is around. I didn't lay people off, but I definitely had to cut back on some of the spending around here. I need to get this studio done. Once I'm not spending so much on the studio, I'll be able to make sure that I keep the staff on and things go a little bit more smoothly. This meeting is being viewed as a major moment for the crypto industry. If everything goes well, it could put an end to long-standing legal uncertainty surrounding XRP and potentially set the stage for future rules on crypto in the US. And I believe that that's the case. I think that's why they're dragging this on. I think that's why this is taking so long and they're doing things the way they're doing it, is because this will be the foundation for crypto and it will all be done under Ripple. And that's why I think that it's very bullish for XRP. But more bullish in the long term than the short term. Right now, it's kind of 50-50 with things because of, the bull run push that we had upward already. So, but these are amazing things for Ripple. I think Ripple is going to hold not just a seat in this whole crypto thing, but I think maintain the throne. Would you be in right now? I am not in right now. I'm holding stable coins still. I'm waiting for confirmation of a breakout. The FOMO in me is telling me to buy, but the skeptical person in me is telling me that the whole world is crashing. And then the logical part of me is saying, stick to the plan, use the system, wait for confirmation, and then follow through. And it doesn't always pay off. Sometimes it breaks even. Sometimes it takes a loss. But the idea is 9 times out of 10, it plays out fine, and it's good enough. Yeah, I don't need to catch the entire move. I just need to make sure that I'm making smart moves. Are the charts saying buy? I mean, the charts are saying fuck you. The charts are screaming. Who knows what it could be? So we basically know about the Ripple case. Let's go back to the charts. The charts are screaming downward movement. Everything is screaming downward movement in the 1 day. The 1 day, and then even the 1 hour. Those are your two most important ones to watch. The 1 day and the 1 hour, okay? And look at the 1 hour is also screaming down. See, we touched the top here and we're moving back down here. All Australian banks and financial institutions have signed with Ripple. Is that so? I believe it's more than just Australia. I mean, it's Dubai, it's Japan, it's Korea, it's so many different places. And that's the one thing to get from all of this is a world currency. Just because something is happening in the United States doesn't mean that it controls this whole thing. However, I believe a large majority of crypto holders right now are in the US. So that's why it actually is more controlled by that sentiment. But one day, all of this is going to be this world financial banking system, and one country's take on one coin isn't going to sway it much because it's all about the vast majority. But the other thing you have to understand is Donald Trump signed the no CBDCs executive order, right? So that makes basically CBDCs illegal in the United States, central bank digital currency. However, the rest of the world wants to use CBDCs. And that would be bad, not only for XRP, but for, these other cryptocurrencies. And the reason they want that is because the banks want control. They want to be able to control these things. But the future, I believe, down the road, 5-10 years from now, will be stable coins. Everything will be stable coins. Everything will be CBDCs. Dark pool equals private XRP ledger, or any truth to this? Thank you. Dark pools, I mean, I would say maybe a lot of it's speculation. Yes, regulations do have to come in too. But what you have to understand is, first of all, the dark pool theory is a speculation type thing. And really what that is it's wallet to wallet transfers. So I used to use Coinbase back in the day. Here's a good example. Okay. So Coinbase, when you go to make an advanced trade, you can set your limit buy or sell order, and you can change the parameters of the buy and sell order from allow taker to post only. Okay. So what that does is that basically is a way to have less fees, and it's basically a wallet to wallet type transfer. And instead of removing liquidity or putting liquidity into the market, it's just the orders are being filled in the background instead of on the market, but it's still the same, and nothing's changed. It's just rumor and speculation. It's when there are transactions where one cancels out the other. That's all it is. I don't really believe that the dark pool thing is all that everyone's speculating it out to be, and all these things. I believe that those are just things that they put out there to create FOMO, to create this sentiment of, oh yeah, this is how it's going to go to 10K and all these things. I find it very far-fetched and hard to believe. What I see it is it's just a way for them to transact quickly and more efficiently without the amount of gas that it normally takes for a transaction, without removing or adding to the liquidity in the market. That's all, because one cancels out the other. Why would they need to? You know, it also helps with some of the volatility. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep it in mind. But as of right now, as far as looking at the charts, is it telling me to buy? I don't think so. I mean, maybe. I mean, this is a descending channel right here. There's this little like channel or flag, whatever, and that could be a push. And if it is, that would mean that this is a head and shoulders, or an inverted head and shoulders right here. And that would send it up to 230. If it can break resistance, or it'll hit up here at 225, double top and come back down. But it is a bit of a inverted head and shoulders, kind of. Do you guys see it? Do you guys see it? Kind of an inverted head and shoulders, probably more or less a double top. I think more or less what it's going to do is it's going to come up to 225 and then back down, and the double top would end at the line of resistance, and it would probably retrace back up, and then eventually it's going to break down. I can see a $7 to $12 XRP in the next 4 to 9 months, but no $100,000. Yeah, I think $4. And let me tell you something. If the big if, okay, let me zoom out and show you where I'm at. Okay, this is the 1 day. If this channel moving upward and this ascending wedge breaks out upward from here before fulfilling this pattern, okay, and it gets a heavy bull push, it would basically right here at 247 consolidate a little sideways, break outward from here, and then move up and hit 260 to 280. If we hit that, and then we continue to consolidate and move up and consolidate and move up, I would say that and that would mean that through May, June, and July, we would be pumping instead of dumping like normally. Okay? Keep that in mind. The saying goes, sell in May, go away. Middle of May is generally where you take your money out. Right before May, it gets a nice little pump up. And this right here at the tip of this would be May 15th, halfway through. Okay? We could get a pump up here and then break down from there. However, let's say it continues a bullish push. If it breaks out from this point, I would expect to see $4. Okay? If it goes from here, because that would make this a nice bull flag. All right? And that would put... There, hold on. Let me fix this here. That would put our bull flag... That would put us right there at the $4 mark. $4, $4.50. hearing something. I don't know where it's coming from though. I don't know what the hell it is. Keep hearing weird noises. Like, I think there's a ghost messing with me right now. I keep hearing a knocking. I keep hearing like things clinking. What the hell is that? I'm freaking out. This is weird. I have a ghost. The XRP boo ghost, right? The ghost is trying to tell me something. But if we break out from here, $4, easily $4.50, and even it could, you know, flag from there and then go up, you know, to $5, and then flag from there and go up to $7. That's doable, and that would be incredible, and I hope it does. And if it does, who cares about missing from 224 to 250? Who cares about missing out on that if you know you're going to catch a couple of these sticks right here? Okay. However, if you're jumping in right here and we drop all the way down to $1.25, you're going to be crying and kicking and screaming. We're at that limbo point where it can go either way. It's literally right at, and we had to make an adjustment because of yesterday. So yesterday's X, as soon as we hit the X, we got this red candle right here. But now we've got a new adjustment for the new candle here. I'd even go as much to say as that's it right there. That's probably more spot on. Eliminate the wicks. That puts us right here. So we're coming up on the X. So tomorrow's candle is going to tell us what is going to happen. And I'm gonna bet more than likely we have a nice big fat red candle that brings us down into here, and then we'll price correct. And what we'll do is we'll probably bounce along here and then drop into the $2 zone. Bitcoin being so strong makes me believe we rise through. I don't know though, but look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of strong. It made a little flag. It got a nice little push up, but it didn't even get very far on that push because of the resistance. And I think this lines up. If it pushes up here and this could end up being this tip right here. Okay. This could also be the diamond top as well, but I would imagine it's going to form whenever I've seen these before. Okay. You know how I always see the patterns before they form? That's because I'm not waiting for the pattern to form. I'm seeing them form before they form. Okay. And this looks like a diamond top, the prequel to a diamond top formation. And I drew this out just by what I thought it might look like. And look at the timeline. Look how it lines up. So this is Friday, Wednesday, boom, Wednesday. So that means from Sunday to Wednesday, it would drop, which is normal. We get the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday sell off. Wednesday, we pump up. And then this would be Monday right here. Price correction, consolidation. And then look here. This is Saturday, end of May. Boom. Down here to the bottom. May 30th. This is highly likely. And that means we could see 100K. This will probably wick right here up into 100K. Come back down. But this is likely. If it doesn't do this and it continues upward, XRP will do the same continuation upward, and we'll see $150,000 Bitcoin. Same with XRP. If this continues out of here and goes up here, we'll see a $4 XRP. But I think we're like way high up on the prices. I think it's easier for us to come down than it is for us to go up. And people just don't have the money to invest right now. We don't have any Doge checks coming in. We don't have any stimulus checks coming in like 2020. Guinea Marie says, I'm having itchy hands. Don't be itchy. Don't be itchy. Just be patient. Just saw TikTok talking about toilet paper shortages are coming. It's literally happening right now, the new COVID. What did I tell you guys yesterday? I told you yesterday, buy toilet paper, get baby wipes, whatever, stock up on supplies. And what happened? Because I told you guys that, what happened? I got banned on TikTok. I got banned and we're here on Twitch. So I told you it before it even happened. I always see this stuff before it happens, guys. And it's not because I can see the future. I have some crystal ball. I just understand the past to predict the future. Went to Costco and bought 8 bulk toilet papers. Nice. I bought a rack of toilet paper. I might go buy a few more, but I'm not worried about it. Last time during the toilet paper shortage, I was fine. I just went outside and I gathered a bunch of pine cones. And I bought some sandpaper at the hardware store. So we were good. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Go stock up on sandpaper, guys. If they run out of toilet paper, they won't run out of sandpaper. Then other creators say it and get away with it. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's because I'm making y'all money. Leaves. Yeah. You go plant yourself some poison ivy in your yards, guys. Plant some poison ivy so in case you got to wipe your ass, you got toilet paper. This is not essential advice. As we're 1 week away from empty shelves. I don't think it's a 1 week, but we're getting close to it for sure. It's getting bad. It's getting bad. And it will take months for the supply chain disruption to level out if we come up with a deal with China. But let me tell you right now, it's just getting started. We haven't even felt it, okay? We dealt with the supply chain shortage issue with COVID for what? A year and a half, 2 years? We got empty boxes delivered from China. We are weak. Yeah, it's gonna get bad. That's why I've been buying up everything that I could for the studio, because I was like, if I don't buy it now, it's not gonna get done. And because of it, I was like, it's okay, I'll be able to pay the staff. I'm gonna get that TikTok money. And then boom, they hit me with this shit. And I think it's part of the trade war. It's like they don't want to give me that money. When they hit me with, one of those guidelines, then they get to keep the money. But spam everyone, low sodium. Buy spam. Yeah. Buy MREs, guys. And buy, stock up on some water. Buy 2 liters of soda. And after you drink them, rinse them out and fill them with water. And that way you're not buying water containers. You're buying soda that you get to enjoy. And then when you're done, you just fill it up with water. And just do that all the time. All the time, and just stockpile it. If anything, if the water gets turned off, you can flush the toilet. You can rinse yourself off with it and clean yourself. Water, baby. Water is gold. And food. You can go weeks without food. You can go days without water. But definitely, there's another thing that they make. It's a water bladder you put in your bathtub, and you can fill it up with water, and you can use it for like drinking water and stuff, and it just sits in your bathtub. I have water delivery, and I fill those jugs. Yeah, what about when everybody else needs water delivered and there's no water to give out? Buy shoes. Why shoes? Because they're made in China. I have so many shoes. I could literally not buy shoes for 10 years and I'd probably be okay. Yeah, use the water to barter with people. If you can't get water, obviously where I live, everybody gets their water out of the ground. It's not going to be for anybody else. It's for me for personal use. But other places, you know, just down the road, you know, is, you know, a city, and they're going to need water. I can sell them city folks a 2-liter bottle of water for, you know, their diamond wedding ring. Shoes to barter? Yeah. Bullets. Bullets, guys. Let me tell you something. In a time of crisis, okay, you can stockpile up and save everything you can, and you can be well prepared. But if you're not prepared to defend it, all it takes is one guy with a gun and a bullet to take it from you. Keep that in mind. Live free or die. Can buy as many bullets as I want. Good for you. I actually know how to make things. So, did you know you can make gunpowder at home? You can make this stuff. It's very easy. All it takes is some grass. Cut some green grass, right? And throw it in a tarp and piss on it every day. And then cover it back up with the tarp and keep it covered in that tarp and keep pissing on it, right? And it'll form little crystals on there. Little crystals from the piss and the nitrogen in the grass clippings. And once it dries and it crystallizes, you scrape that off and you mix it with charcoal and you have gunpowder. Very, very simple. There's nothing that you can buy that I can't make. The thing is I got to have the technology. Got to have the tools to do it. I bought the TikTok survival. They tell you it. Yeah. There's the TikTok survival book's good. I have the Air Force survival handbook. I have the Special Forces, all that stuff. Mick Osguyver. Oz the MacGyver goat. But another thing, guys, bow and arrow, crossbow, something like that. It's something that can be reused, something that you don't have to seek out ammunition for. Eve all, boy, what did I walk into making gunpowder? Yes, I have anxiety over everything coming up sooner than we think. I agree. But you should have these things, guys. You should have a bow and arrow. You should have a decent knife. You should have a water reservoir. You should have a stockpile of non-perishable food. Not even because of supply chain disruption. Just who knows, you know? Anything can happen. A fishing reel, exactly. Just did a 12-hour shift. Dang. Oh, I used to do those. I remember back in the day, I would work a 36-hour shift, take a 1-hour nap, and then go work a 14-hour shift. Back in the day. The show must go on. You work in the ICU. Thank you for your service. Appreciate you. All of our men and women, first responders, military, nurses, doctors, thank you all for your support in the community and for what you do. Streets must have been comfy. What do you mean? Guinea Marie is a therapist. Guinea, I need a therapist. I need to talk crypto to you. XRP has broken me emotionally inside. I'm not sure if I can go on any longer. Not to joke about that stuff, but it's funny, you know. I thought it was a funny joke. But yes, people You feel the same way? Yeah, I know. XRP has broken my heart and ran away with a strapping young man. XRP left me for another man. XRP did perform the worst last week and this week. Yes, I know. And it's crazy because it's the consolidation zone we're in. But also, like, XRP is flipped. It's pumping when the meme coins pump. It's off cycle with Bitcoin. I don't know if you guys saw my Star Wars meme. I posted Obi-Wan and he's yelling at Anakin. He's like, "You're supposed to be the chosen one." Is talking about XRP. Do you guys see? Actually, I'm gonna pull it up. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Let's pull it up here. Let's see, where are we at? Oz the Crypto Goat. Oh, come on. But yeah, XRP has been, wow, there's a bunch of fake profiles of my profile now. I mean, I guess it's flattering. I got some new memes here. You were supposed to be the chosen one. Bring balance to the markets and destroy the meme coins, not join them. I thought it was funny. The hours staying awake watching numbers is tiring work. Oh, I know. You telling me. I'm up watching these things all night. Let's see. Something in my core is telling me we weren't going to pump like beast on the short term. No, I don't think so. You know what I think is going to happen? I think we're... Here, let me zoom in. So on the 1 minute... Hold on. Let me show you. This is probably what's going to happen. And usually when I say this, it happens, doesn't it? So this is a descending channel right here. This descending channel. It's going to pump back up, right? From here. So if we go into the 1 hour and we look at it, that would mean if it does pump, this is a head and shoulders. And that would send us up to 230. 230. Or it double tops at 225 and then comes back down. Because it's a bit of a wonky head and shoulders. I wouldn't quite call it a head and shoulders. But if you go into the 1 day, it looks a lot like a head and shoulders. Or an inverted head and shoulders. But look at, if it does do that and it comes up here to 225 and double tops right there, this would be a head and shoulders. And that would bring us down to $2, 205. Yeah, 3 tops right there, exactly. So I think this is what's going to end up happening right here. And look, we had a head and shoulders here. We had an inverted head and shoulders. And now we followed by another head and shoulders. That is very common to see that one after the other. And then it'll break down and it'll double bottom and then double top and then double bottom, double top. Very common to see it play out like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if, let's see, let's go into the 4 hour. I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being a head and shoulders right there. Whoops. See it? That would make a decent little head and shoulders. Possibly. It could also break downward, double bottom here, and then come up and still go to 230. But yeah, it's still kind of just stuck in this area. And what we have to do is we have to wait and see where it's going to break out. But I do feel like it'll probably see 225 to 230 again one more time. Or it'll just collapse. It'll work its way sideways and collapse right here and it's done. But I have a good feeling about it. This, if you look at the 4 hour right here, this is kind of like a flag here, a descending channel, which means it should push up again to 225 or even 230. And that would give us a head and shoulders right here. This is kind of a wonky shoulder, but it is a shoulder. We had a wonky shoulder here, and we still got this head and shoulders. It's news sensitive. That's why I think a little pop. I agree with that because they've been coming out with a lot of moon cheese. A lot of moon cheese. They fed everybody the ETF crap, and it's not even ETF. And then what is it? CMS? I think it's CMS, right? The shorts are coming in, baby. So, you know, keep that in mind. CME, that's right. My bad. Do you guys watch my memes? I mean, if you don't, it's no big deal. I do put a lot of work into them, though, but anybody watch my memes? Look at this one. Wall Street finally looks at XRP, but only to short it. XRP CME futures. Shorts are when people short the market. Shorts drive the price down. So what happens is you know how you buy low and you sell high? These people buy high and they sell low because they're betting the opposite. Yeah, the shorts are going to be coming in droves. And that's why I think it's coming down. Look at this one. I love this.
I like to be a peeping Tom if I can. I'll watch your whole family eat dinner. I like to be a peeping Tom if I can. I'll watch your whole family eat dinner.
Oh man, I died when I made that one. So good. So good. So they buy, it's not that they buy, they basically, it's a contract, right? And they're saying that I'm going to buy, you're making a contract with another person that they're saying that if the price goes down, they'll still buy it at the higher price. The Vaughn? Yes, the Vaughn. I'll watch your whole family eat dinner. But they love high entry points. That's why I think they need to pop a little the higher prices. I agree. I highly agree with that. That's why I think it'll see, you know, upward movement of at least 230 to 235 because most people are FOMOing in like, oh, ETFs are approved and that's why it's pumping like it has been. And they're not spot ETFs, they're futures ETFs. Which would mean shorts. Shorts are in the market. And same for Bitcoin. Bitcoin would hit 100K and then they'll short it. Bam! Bringing it down. All right, let's see here. More news. We got more news. Got some news for yous. All right, let's watch this.
Closes, small online sellers scramble. This article is by Danielle K. and read by an automated voice. Small ticket items shipped to the United States from China will no longer be exempt from tariffs starting on Friday, when a decision by President Trump to shutter a shipping loophole he calls a scam takes effect. The move is expected to send ripples through the economy as American consumers, who have gotten used to buying cheap shoes, Hawaiian shirts, holiday decorations, and other products made in China, suddenly find those products much pricier. The fallout is also expected to extend to independent online vendors, who have based their businesses on the ability to cheaply import Chinese-made goods.
And you know what? These products there's a lot of products that haven't been coming in, and we're already getting supply chain disruption because of it. And people are starting to FOMO buy toilet paper already, and things are flying off the shelf. Okay, when this goes into effect, there's going to be even less stuff coming into the US. Okay, it's just begun and it will last for months from now. Okay, so if you think that we're going to pump through May, June, July, I'm begging to differ. I think quite the opposite. We're going to drop hard because of these supply chain disruptions. People aren't going to put their money in the market. They're going to go out and try to buy toilet paper and the things that they need and stock up. I'm doing it. I'm taking my money out of the market and I'm buying the supplies that I need to build this studio. You guys are going to have to come here to buy groceries. Yeah.
Mr. Trump is set to scrap a shipping workaround that has allowed products made in China and valued at under $800 to come into the United States without being subject to duties and taxes. The Trump administration has said it was focused on eliminating the de minimis loophole because of its apparent ties to the fentanyl trade, a concern previously raised by the Biden administration and several advocacy groups. Traditional retailers that typically send big bulk shipments to their warehouses have also expressed frustration with the workaround, which has allowed popular Chinese e-commerce sites like Temu and Shein to cheaply send packages directly to customers. Retailers like Walmart and Amazon had explored shifting more toward shipping directly from China to consumers. But the end of the exemption is expected to cause pain for a wide swath of online sellers across the globe, including independent e-commerce companies that rely on the channel too. Mr. Trump's order repeals the duty-free provision for all goods made in mainland China and Hong Kong, which would apply to products sent both directly and indirectly to the United States. Vendors in the United States and Canada who sell Chinese-made goods online to U.S. buyers say they're bearing the brunt of Mr. Trump's decision to end the exemption.
Mr. Trump.
For small online
President
sellers,
Trump.
the de minimis changes are spurring
He is the
confusion
president,
about costs
whether
for
you like him or
supplies
not.
sourced from China. Kelly Kendall, who runs a craft supplies business in the Chicago area, imports about 80% of her supplies, including fabrics and embroidery products, directly from China. She uses those materials to make kits that she sells on Etsy and through her own website. She said she was worried that changes to the de minimis trade provision would make her costs surge. Ms. Kendall orders most of her supplies in quantities below the $800 threshold, so she has avoided taxes on those imports and she has built up some inventory. But within the next couple of months, she'll have to start replenishing her supplies and pay tariffs on them. Any additional shipping costs would force her to raise prices for her crafting kits, which currently range from $30 to $100. I don't think people understand the larger impact for really small businesses, where this is my main source of income, Ms. Kendall said. This is a big deal. Alternatives to China for sourcing her materials are nearly non-existent, she added. Ms. Kendall started looking for U.S. manufacturers in March, after it became clear that Mr. Trump planned to eliminate the de minimis provision. She found 2 small factories in the New York City area that are capable of making the specific textile fabric she needs for embroidery, but they turned her down because her order volume would be too small, she said. A lot of factories, if I try to go directly to them, won't deal with me because I don't have a large amount of business for them, Ms. Kendall said. The import charges are set to differ depending on how the goods are shipped. If they come on an express carrier like DHL or FedEx, the goods will be subject to tariffs as high as 145%. Shipments through the Postal Service will face a tariff equivalent to 120% of the value of the goods, or a fee of $100 per package. The fee will increase to $200 in June. De minimis changes could affect businesses outside the United States too, since Mr. Trump's order imposes duties on low-value products that originate from China, even if they are shipped indirectly to the United States. The fallout was immediate for Canadian sellers in February, when Mr. Trump announced the change. He ultimately paused the decision within a few days, in order to give the Commerce Department time to set up systems to collect tariff revenue. But what happened during those few days has fueled concern about shipping chaos this time around. Justin Crowder, the owner of Caffeine Boutique, an e-commerce business in Montreal that sells coffee products, was thrilled when, in February, a YouTube content creator promoted an espresso maker on his site. It boosted orders of the Chinese-made product from U.S. buyers, and Mr. Crowder quickly shipped roughly 120 orders. But just 2 days later, Mr. Trump's ban on the de minimis rule for Chinese goods turned those U.S. sales into a liability. Emails from frustrated American customers started flooding Mr. Crowder's inbox, all of them complaining about being charged unexpected taxes. The sudden changes to the trade loophole appeared to inundate customs agents, leading to errors and import fees that ranged from $38 to $159 for the same espresso maker, Mr. Crowder said.
Jeez.
My heart sank when I realized that a number of our customers would be impacted by this, he said. We've just been in a hamster wheel chasing down as much information as possible. Mr. Crowder decided to pay the tariffs rather than force his American customers to shoulder the unforeseen costs. But he said he was concerned that the constant whiplash from Mr. Trump on trade policies, including on the de minimis rule, would leave small businesses like his in the dark. We don't have dedicated resources to make sure we're on top of every policy change, he said. Shipping firms have scrambled in recent weeks to adjust to the shifting U.S. trade rules. In a series of blog posts, Chit-Chats, a Canadian shipping company, alerted its customers to new requirements that all packages include information about where the product was made. Shipments to the United States were delayed because of the abrupt changes in February, Chit-Chat said.
I wonder if this is going to
Stallion
affect
Express,
returns
another Canadian
on
company
Amazon
that ships
as well.
packages to the United States for
Not just
businesses
buying,
of
but
various
returning
sizes,
products.
had thousands of its parcels returned to Canada by U.S. customs agents in February. That was partly because of new country of origin documentation requirements, said Kenson Wah, the company's chief revenue officer. The rule changes caused inconsistencies at the U.S. border, Mr. Wah said, with some Stallion Express trucks turned away even after Mr. Trump temporarily reinstated the de minimis provision. I'm advising all our clients not to use this as a time to be complacent. This is a time to be nimble and to pivot the business, Mr. Wah said. I don't think it's safe for businesses to rely on the de minimis now. Larger Canadian companies may eventually shift their infrastructure to the United States, Mr. Wah added. But smaller online sellers will probably have fewer options to adapt. For Émile Arsalan, who lives in the province of Quebec, a permanent reversal of the de minimis provision for Chinese goods would pose an existential threat to his e-commerce business. He sells electronics on eBay and used clothing on Poshmark. The vast majority of his items go to U.S. customers, almost all of them made in China. When Mr. Trump initially scrapped the trade loophole, Mr. Arsalan's first concern was about hefty import taxes on his products, including antiques that do not have certificates of origin attached to them. It's impossible to know where these items were made. he said. Last Friday, he paused sales of Chinese-made goods and goods that lack a clear country of origin to U.S. customers in anticipation of the de minimis expiration. That means 70% of his sales have been cut off, while he tries to find a way to build his Canadian customer base instead. Tariffs on China are affecting Canadian sellers more than tariffs on Canada, Mr. Arcelane said. It's the heart of the issue for small sellers.
All right. You guys like my little goat? The crypto goat. So yeah, it's not looking good, guys, and it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. Let's see, did we read this one? Yeah, we just did that one. Zoom in so you guys can see it a little better. The U.S. has approached China seeking talks on tariff, says state social media. Development may be indication China is softening on beginning negotiations over American 145% tariffs. The U.S. has approached China seeking talks over Donald Trump's 145% tariff. A social media account affiliated with Chinese state media has said, potentially signing Beijing's openness to negotiations. The U.S. has proactively reached out to China through multiple channels, hoping to hold discussions on tariff issues. Yuan Tantian reported in the post published on the official Weibo social media account, citing anonymous sources. The U.S. official, including Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, the White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett, also expressed hope for progress in easing trade tensions. Hassett told CNBC that there has been loose discussions all over both governments about the tariffs and China easing of duties on some U.S. goods last week was a sign of progress. Beijing has made little effort to contain its anger at the tariffs, which it says are tantamount to bullying. Tantamount. I'm gonna have to look up that word. That's a new one for me. And cannot stop the rise of the world's second largest economy. Instead, it has directed its fury at rallying public and global condemnation of the import curbs, showing no interest in a reprieve. Guys, China will let every single person in their country die if they have to. They do not care. They will starve their people to death. They do not care. They do not have remorse. They do not have the checks and balances like the United States does, which is why we are at a disadvantage with them. They do not care. Their people will suffer. And they will print money at no end. They'll do whatever they have to. They do not care. Like China, we read it yesterday. China said, we've been here for 5,000 years. We'll be here another 5. They're not worried about it. They are willing to burn their country to the ground. I think they just have to wait, because we will ease up first. We may not have people dying over this, but people will whine and cry over their phones and their shoes and stuff, and will break over that. They will literally let people die. They don't care. Let's see what they got to say here.
We empower those who act.
No
those
free
who
ads.
manage risk by anticipating each move.
一味地进行极限施压，对这种霸道霸凌行径，中方坚决反对，绝不接受。美方如果真的想通过对话谈判解决问题，就应该拿出平等、尊重、互惠的态度。如果美方置两国和国际社会的利益
China's
不
all
顾，
about respect,
执意
man.
打关
They
税
feel
战、贸易
disrespected.
战，
I get it.
中方必将奉陪到底。
China will retaliate. They do not care. They do not care. They're going to do whatever. They care more about respect and dignity than they do about people's lives. And they feel disrespected. They're not going to change. They're not going to back down. They're too prideful. That's just the way they are. And they feel disrespected. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them, okay? But at the same time, it's going to get bad unless we come to an agreement with them. And even if we do come to an agreement with them, we're still going to feel the pain of it for months. It's already happened. It's already happened. The products are not coming in right now. The shelves are starting to go bare right now. Even if it all gets fixed today and it's said and it's done, it's over with, and we got a great deal and everything's beautiful and everything that they're saying it's going to be, it will take 6 months to a year to turn this around. So keep that in mind. Be prepared, guys. Stock up on food, water, anything that you're going to need. Make sure you have plenty of it. All right. Let's listen to this is the BBC 7 takeaways from the US-Ukraine resource deal. Okay, so we signed a deal with Ukraine, right, for their mineral rights, I guess, right? The Ukrainians have now published the deal, and there have been public statements from both sides. Here are the 7 key takeaways. No Ukrainian payback to the U.S. So Trump has previously demanded Ukraine pay back the $350 billion of aid that he claims have been provided by the U.S. during the war. Washington appears to have made a concession. Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal said the agreement did not dictate that his country pay back any supposed debt. Trump has styled the agreement and as a win for his side as well, saying his country will get back much more in theory than the billions that were provided to Ukraine by this predecessor, Joe Biden. A tougher tone from the U.S. towards Putin. The language used by the U.S. in announcing the deal is notably harsher towards Russia than is usually the case from the Trump administration. The agreement refers to Russia's full-scale invasion, and the U.S. Treasury Department adds that no state or person who financed or supplied the Russian war machine will be allowed to benefit from the reconstruction of Ukraine. This will hearten Kyiv, which has demanded more pressure to be placed on Russia in talks between Moscow and Washington discussing a possible ceasefire. Remember what I said, guys? Everyone's like, oh, we came up with a deal for Ukraine. This means peace. We're getting a ceasefire. Okay, guys, this means we're going to war with Russia. If we're getting all these supplies and materials and from Ukraine, okay, that means Russia's not going to get them. Do you think Russia's going to be okay with just turning that over? Mind you, a lot of these resources are in areas that have already been taken control of by Russia. So we're going to war with Russia is basically what this is saying. We are going to war with Russia. World War III. Everyone, I don't understand how everyone's getting this as, oh, this is peace and this is good news and so good for us. This is war, baby. This is not good. All right, let's see what this guy's got to say.
Thanks to President Trump's tireless efforts to secure a lasting peace, I am glad to announce the signing of today's historic economic partnership agreement between the United States and Ukraine, establishing the United States-Ukraine Reconstruction Investment Fund. This partnership allows the United States to invest alongside Ukraine to unlock Ukraine's growth assets, mobilize American talent, capital, and governance standards that will improve Ukraine's investment climate and accelerate Ukraine's economic recovery. The Development Finance Corporation will participate and help to establish this fund in collaboration with the government of Ukraine. Today's agreement signals clearly to Russian leadership that the Trump administration is committed to a peace process centered on a free, sovereign, and prosperous Ukraine over the long term. It's time for this cruel and senseless war to end. The killing must stop, and both the United States and the government of Ukraine look forward to quickly operationalizing this historic economic partnership for both the Ukrainian and American people.
Oh, man. Oh, man. This is, everyone's talking about it like it's peace. Peace on earth. It is not. This is not good news. I mean, it's good news financially for the U.S., but this means that we're going to war with Russia. Okay? Let me make a microphone adjustment here. Bear with me. There, that's better. Yeah, this is good news, but not good news. What I see here is World War III. Russia is not going to give up their stuff. The Russian-Ukraine war cannot end until nuances are addressed, Keelan says. And we'll basically, this is a printout of everything that she discusses. So we'll just let her talk so I can save my voice.
And Ukrainian officials are reportedly ready to sign a mineral resource deal with the U.S. as soon as today. This as Ukraine says Russia launched over 100 attack drones overnight, killing at least one person and injuring dozens just a week before a proposed 3-day ceasefire. Let's bring in ABC News Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Pannell for more. Ian, I want to start with this mineral deal with the U.S. because President Zelensky was supposedly ready to sign it in February, but then it got derailed in that heated Oval Office meeting. So what are you watching for now?
Yeah, I mean, it got derailed not just because of the tone at the meeting, but because of the content of the document that was being proposed by the United States. It was a non-starter.
This is war, baby.
He has to get it ratified by the Ukrainian parliament, and it was totally unsellable. Essentially, the first draft of the deal was looking for Ukraine to pay back all the money that the United States had spent on military and other assistance. There were figures used by President Trump, which were certainly far larger than the actual amounts that had been spent. What we understand, and this is a source speaking to ABC News, is that Ukraine is ready to sign a mineral deal, that the first deputy prime minister is currently in Washington. It could happen as soon as today, but we have to wait and see. A number of outlets are reporting this, and certainly what's out there suggests that perhaps this deal will essentially cover any future assistance given by the United States to Ukraine in its ongoing conflict with Russia. And I think that would be highly significant if that change is made. But we have to wait and see what the detail is.
Meanwhile, Ian, U.S. State Department officials are
detail
downplaying
is we're gonna go to
Russia's
war with
ceasefire
Russia.
proposal. So where do things stand on that,
We're going to
especially
have to
after these new
defend
attacks in
Ukraine.
Ukraine?
They're going to put boots on the
Yeah,
ground.
that's right. The State Department was pretty dismissive, and Ukraine has been as well. I mean, again, Ukraine insisting that this has to begin with at least a 30-day ceasefire, and that's something that the United States wants as well. In other words, not just
And
a
Russia's not even
unilateral 3-day
doing a
ceasefire
ceasefire.
on
They're
the
only having a
Kremlin's terms,
ceasefire
which is what is
for
being
like 3
proposed.
days in
other words,
May.
a 3-day ceasefire in time for Victory Day celebrations. Remember, it's the 80th anniversary of the end of the Second World War, and there are huge celebrations
Russia
planned
doesn't care.
in Russia, and
They'll
that's
just keep
when
sending
President
people and
Putin
keep sending
wants
people.
the ceasefire to take place.
They're
I
like
think
China.
for American
They
Ukraine,
won't give
this
up.
has to be the start of something more meaningful. But we are interestingly seeing, and you saw that in Terry's interview, a slight shift in tone from Washington towards the Kremlin. Diane?
All right, Chief Foreign Correspondent Ian Panel, thank you.
Yeah, Russia is not going to give up easy, okay?
Lindor.
They're not
Swanson.
they're not the type to, just let things go, and they will deplete every resource before they give up. That's just how they are. They're like China. Head to head, our Navy will smoke them. Let me tell you something. A Navy is only as good as much oil there is to fuel them. And we burned through our strategic reserves over the last several years under Joe Biden. Okay, Joe Biden did away with most of our strategic reserves. We don't have the oil to go to war. We don't have fuel for the ships. We can have all the ships we want, but if we don't have gas to put in them, they're not going anywhere. So keep that in mind. Our oil reserves are depleted because they were pumping it out to lower gas prices. And now, if we go to war with anyone, we're going to be cooked. It's going to have to be a drone war because we do not have the ability to fuel our ships. Russia has oil. They'll be fine. We have to get our oil from other places. That's why Trump's been like, drill, baby, drill, because we need that oil if we're going to war. Keep it in mind, guys. Keep it in mind. All these things play a role, play a factor in all of this. So India and Pakistan are at war now too. This is a world war unfolding in front of us, guys. India and Pakistan both have nuclear technology. So let's listen to what they have to say here.
India's response to Pahalgam terror attack should avoid regional war, J.D. Vance. Underlining that India's response to last week's Pahalgam attack should avoid the risk of a broader regional conflict, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance hoped that Pakistan would work with India to track down terrorists who carried out the attack. In short, Vance hoped Pak would cooperate with India to track down Pahalgam attackers. 26 people died when terrorists attacked tourists in Pahalgam on April 22. Vance was in India on an official 4-day visit when an attack occurred. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance on Thursday said that Washington hopes that India will respond carefully to avoid broader regional conflict following last week's terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam. He also said that the U.S. hoped Pakistan would cooperate with India to hunt down Pakistan-based terrorists. In an interview with Fox News, Vance made his public remark on the attack, which left 26 people dead. Notably, Vance and his family was in India on a 4-day visit when the carnage, the worst since the Pulwama attack on CRPF personnel in 2019, took place. Our hope here is that India responds to this terrorist attack in a way that doesn't lead to a broader regional conflict, Vance said on Fox News' special report with Bret Baier show. And we hope, frankly, that Pakistan,
to the extent that they're responsible, cooperates with India to make sure that the terrorists sometimes operating in their territory are hunted down and dealt with. He added. The vice president's remarks assume significance amid rising tensions between India and Pakistan in the aftermath of the Pahalgam attack. Vance, who was in India last month, had then condemned the attack and expressed solidarity with the victims and their families in a post on X. The Pahalgam attack, which claimed the lives of 25 tourists and one local, was one of the deadliest attacks on civilians in the Kashmir Valley in recent times. The terrorists had planned the attack on a scenic meadow which required hiking or using a pony service to get to the spot. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke with External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif on Wednesday, amid escalating tensions between the two countries following the Pahalgam terror attack that claimed 26 lives. Rubio asked Pakistani officials to cooperate in the investigation and work to de-escalate tensions between them. Amit Shah vows revenge. In his first public remarks on the attack, Home Minister Amit Shah on Thursday said that India will give a fitting and precise response to every act of terrorism. Sending a strong warning to terrorists, Amit Shah said, if anyone thinks that a cowardly attack is their victory, they must remember this is Narendra Modi's India, and revenge will be taken, one by one. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has vowed to pursue the perpetrators and their backers to the ends of the earth. India downgraded its ties with Pakistan following the Pahalgam attack and took several diplomatic measures, including the pausing of the Indus Waters Treaty, expelling all Pakistani military attaches, closing its airspace to Pakistani airlines and the shutting down of the Atari-Wagha border. In response, Pakistan undertook tit-for-tat measures and suspended the Shimla Agreement. India on Thursday relaxed its deadline allowing Pakistani nationals to return to Pakistan via the Atari-Wagha border. But Pakistan has not yet reciprocated with the same measure by allowing Indian nationals into the country.
Oh yeah. It's World War III, baby. And we talked about this yesterday. What does that mean for the markets? It means high volatility, which means money to be made, okay? And I think XRP can pump up here, okay? I really do. I think it might got one more in it and come up here to maybe 340. And that would be it. Maybe, or excuse me, 240. Ish, but probably hit 230, and then we'll see what it forms. But it could just come up here to 225 and double top right here and come back down. So we'll have to keep an eye out, wait and see. So if you have not signed up yet for the email alert system, make sure you do, because now would be the time to have it. Okay, because I can't be live all the time, and the algorithm on TikTok, when I post the videos, most people don't get them until it's too late. Or sometimes I'll post something and I'll be like, hey, it's probably going to do this, and then it'll break structure within minutes, and then I post something after, and they'll get the first one, but they won't get the second one, and that can cause, problems. So definitely sign up for the email list, guys. If you want to be on the email list, all you got to do is send me a message with your email and I'll show you how to set it up and how it works. It's $1.99. Okay. You got to be a deluxe subscriber on TikTok to get it, but it's only $1.99. Worth it. Totally worth it. It's going to help you make those trades. Excuse me. You're going to be able to make those trades, guys, without missing what's happening, because all of these things, especially right now in the zone that we're at, everything is subject to change quickly. Things turn around very quickly. All right. So make sure you're signed up for that. And don't forget, guys, we are not making money on TikTok. We're not making money on Twitch. We are supported by your donations. So if you want to help support the show, you can send your donations by clicking the Steam Elements link up there in the chat where it says donations are appreciated. or you can send it to the Cash App or Venmo. If you need the Cash App or Venmo, let me know and I'll put it in the chat right now. Hey, does when trading on different hour charts, does the return change? What do you mean? I don't quite understand what you're trying to say. Paul, what are you trying to tell me? Hey, does when trading on different hour charts, does the return change? That I don't quite understand what you're trying to say. I think maybe there was a text-to-speech issue there or something. Sorry, if I tried on the 1 hour chart and 4 hour chart, does that make a difference? If you traded, no, it doesn't matter what chart you traded on. It's all the same price. But the difference of these is the candles and the way they line up to see the different formations they're making. Paul, who are you on TikTok? Are you on TikTok or are you from Twitch? I'm still trying to learn everybody's names. I believe you're from TikTok. Sydney Hotshots. Are you from TikTok? Okay, I don't remember who you are. Are you a deluxe subscriber on TikTok? You're a normal sub? You were a normal sub. Got you. Based on that question, I would advise becoming a deluxe subscriber and message me directly and I can help coach you and teach you a lot of these things. A lot of people are new to this and you don't quite know a lot of things. You can message me directly as a deluxe subscriber and I can help coach you. You can ask me questions daily and before you're making trades or after, you know, we can work together and I can train you and teach you not only how to understand what it is you're doing, but why you're doing it. So obviously I'm not going to tell you, hey, you should buy right now or hey, you should sell right now, but I'll give you the tools and the information that you need so that you can learn to be a more advanced trader. So definitely sign up for that and you can send me a direct message. And also those daily price point videos that I post for subscribers, when you sign up for the email service as a deluxe subscriber, you get an email notification every time I post something. So when I post something and you don't quite understand what it is you should do, you can message me directly and we can talk about it and I can help teach you and train you better that way. So definitely something that you want to do is become a deluxe subscriber. Let me help teach you and train you and coach you. And then also have those alerts so that way you are making better, quicker trades, you know, because a lot of times time is of the essence. Minutes can cost you hundreds depending on how much you have in there. So message me, become a deluxe subscriber, send me a message, and I would love to help teach you and train you and coach you, and we'll grow together. And this way you can elevate your style of trading, elevate who you are as a trader, so that way you can grow and progress and get that knowledge that you need. Because, you know, we're not just in here, you know, gambling and playing around. We are making strategic moves that will financially set you up in a way where you're going to be successful. That's the whole idea here, is to be successful and to understand what we're doing and why we're doing it. Smart money community, exactly. We are a community and we're here to help each other and lift each other up. So I want to be able to teach you, like, just based on that question, I'm like, okay, I feel like you need a little bit of help. I feel like you need a little bit of understanding and knowledge in this. And I can help you with that one-on-one. So please become a deluxe subscriber. Reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you. If they re-offer with an acceptable price, that will absolutely be a game changer. What do you mean re-offer? Re-offer with what? Plus XRP interested in buying Circle. Oh, that's what you're talking about Circle. Yeah, I think Ripple has everything to gain from acquiring Circle. Circle is USDC. So if that was the case, RLUSD would replace a USDC. And honestly, even once RLUSD is available, I'm going to be holding it anyway. I believe that the APY is going to end up being higher. I think Ripple should be able to offer 8% just because of how fast and cheap it is for them to make their transactions because of XRP. So I think that, you know, Circle even said that they weren't declining the offer, that they are more than willing to accept an offer and are inclined to do so. They just want a better one. And I think rightfully so, that their company is worth way more than they were offered. So, you know how it is. It's the big ask. You know, you come in with a really low offer, but that gets the other company thinking like, okay, what would we actually sell for? And then they try to find some place in the middle. So I'm sure Circle's going to come back with some crazy high number, and then Ripple's going to say, well, how about this number? And then eventually they'll come up with a deal. I do think that deal is going to end up playing out. 20 bill. I don't know. Let's see here. One third of the 60 billion is worth. Yeah, I think honestly, I think they should get what they're worth, you know? They'll probably come in with like, who knows? I'm not even going to speculate on what they're going to offer them. But I do think that they'll make a deal. It's in Ripple's best interest to make a deal with them and buy them out. That's how this business is done. They're too much of a competition for them. But if they basically buy them out, then they no longer have that competition, because USDC has been around for a long time. Many people are going to hold it. It just sounds official, USDC. It sounds like United States dollar coin, you know? Maybe they will offer cash and pre-IPO Ripple shares. That's what I'm thinking. I think they will offer IPO shares. I think that, and it would be more of a merger that way. You know, they may even just do a merger, but it's definitely opened the door and the channel for that move to happen. And I think it's highly likely to anticipate that a deal will be made. And let me tell you, if that deal is made, expect XRP to move, baby. Expect it to move. I wouldn't say it's going to move dollars, but I think it could do, you know, 20 to 40 cent price move just from that news alone. It would obviously correct at least 50% after, but that deal will come months down the road. That's a later on in the year kind of thing. I mean, maybe they'll come up with something. Oh yeah, it would definitely break structure. If it happened now, it would break structure. And that's why I think it'll get some kind of bullish sentiment, and it will pump up, because it will pump based on speculation that they're going to acquire it. But once we actually get the news, that's the kind of news that will pump the market, not dump it once we get it. And it will pump, but then it will also retrace back at least 50%. We just have to wait and see. Just like the Ripple speculation, exactly. And that's why things are, or SEC, yeah. By the way, that SEC speculation is the biggest piece of moon cheese I've ever seen. That is not going to happen. I can tell you right now, the proposal on the SEC website is the biggest piece of moon cheese I've ever seen. It is just not going to happen that way. If it does, great. But it's just highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. That would be all the planets align, and you know, I want it to happen that way. That would be great. But let's try to be realistic that this is more of an ecosystem than a monopoly. You got to hit the sack. Good night, Oz. Thank you for what you do. I appreciate it. And don't forget, if you do want to help out with the show, donations are much appreciated. So your donations keep the show going. I'm going to put the Cash App and Venmo in here. So if you want to help out the show, you can always donate. Basically, we run 100% off donations now. That's our only source of revenue here. And when I make my trades, so all my profits from trading now is going into paying the staff and keeping the show afloat. So when you guys send those donations, it helps it so that I'm not bleeding out of my pocket so bad. So I do appreciate all the donations everyone has been sending. You guys have been making it happen. And that's why I continue to invest back into you guys. You guys invest into me. I'm investing into you. The show is growing. And we probably won't have a live tomorrow unless something crazy is happening in the market. But even then, I may not be able to go live because we are doing work with the studio and we're going to be moving equipment, and it may not be set up. It may not be set up. So those of you like TikTok Seller who are already set up for the alert notification system, you're going to know what's going on because I'm going to be posting those videos if anything happens. So make sure you sign up for the email alert system, guys, so that you don't miss out on a trade. You don't miss out on something, because right now is more important than ever for you to get those notifications on time. Time is money in this space, okay? And literally for $2, it's gonna pay for itself. I'm if you're not getting the messages before TikTok notifies you, I'd be willing to say, like, I'd give you your money back, because I already know you're going to get it. You're going to know before TikTok even tells you that I posted it. Guaranteed. Everybody that has the email system is like, yo, I get that email right away and I look at it and I haven't even been notified by TikTok yet. And you're all with your email, you can set that up to where your phone is actually going off, dinging, having an alarm, whatever it is. So you're actually getting a real notification. It's coming up in your notification bar, and it's going to say, Oz the Crypto Goat sent you something, you know, so you're going to know. Whereas like TikTok, a lot of the times, even their notifications, it just shows TikTok. It doesn't even say where, what, or anything like that. You have to open the app, and then you open the app and the first thing that comes up is a video and you get distracted, and it's a mess. It is a mess trying to do the TikTok way. So definitely join the email. And for those of you that are new to trading and you're learning and you need that help, that coaching, become a deluxe subscriber on TikTok. Obviously, one day TikTok will go away, but we still do have it for right now. And as a deluxe subscriber on TikTok, you can get that coaching from me where you can message me directly. And I am going to be setting it up so that if you do want to leave TikTok altogether and just be here on Twitch, I'm going to be setting up a second tier on Twitch for subscriptions, which will basically do the same thing, but you won't get the price point videos on TikTok. That's the only difference. So I may give it at a little bit more of a discounted price or something. We're going to have to figure that out. Can't figure out how to go from basic to deluxe subscription. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go on to TikTok, and I'll show here. I'll show it for you guys right now. We're going to go to TikTok. All right. Here's TikTok. We're going to search for Oz the Crypto Goat. And it's going to be the first one. Look at all the fake. There's fake ones now too. All right. So you're going to go here. I guess it's different on this one. So you're going to go to I think I have to log in for it to work, and it won't do it if I log in. So when you go into TikTok and you see all my pictures like on the phone, you know, let me just okay. What you're going to do is you're going to go to TikTok, all right, and you're going to click on my profile, and just above my videos, you're going to see subscription right there. You're going to click on subscription, and you're going to scroll. You're going to scroll to deluxe, and you're going to click that. And that's how you become a deluxe subscriber. And if you don't want to become a deluxe subscriber and you just want it for to message me directly, just send me a donation on Cash App or Venmo. If you can't figure it out, you know, shoot me, you know, I think it's like $10 a month or whatever. If you shoot me $10 or shoot me 20 or 50, who knows, you know, shoot me a donation as long as it's that $10 or more. And I will add you onto like your deluxe subscriber, because when you send me the donation, I get 100% of that money. If you deluxe subscribe on TikTok right now, I get none of the money because I got banned. They take that money from me. So donation is probably the better way to go about it, you know, as of right now, because of the way things are going and we are moving away from TikTok. So HD Malicious, if you just want to send me a donation, that would work fine. And you can have the $2 subscription for, so you can see the price points or whatever. But if you send me a donation, I'll still answer your questions and we can do the daily coaching and all that stuff too. So if you guys want to bypass TikTok and you don't want to deluxe subscribe that way, send me a message and we'll work something out. And you can just Cash App me or Venmo me or PayPal me directly. And that way I'm receiving 100% of those funds. And because they're donations, it's untaxable. It's tax-free. So you guys are helping out the show even more by doing it that way. So if you guys are interested in doing it that way, great. If you're just looking for an easy, streamlined way to do it, just become a deluxe subscriber on TikTok. It's fine. Doesn't matter to me. But it is more beneficial for the show when you do it that way. And you guys can also just donate, you know, if the donations are what keeps all this going. So those of you who do donate, thank you very much. Also, if you want to donate for auto donations, you can set that up through Venmo. So if you want to set up to where you just send in a monthly amount of donations, message me and I can send you a request on Venmo, and that way it can just automatically happen every month, and you don't have to worry about it, and you know you're good and that you're doing what you can. And then there's some of you who are like, okay, well, every time I make a good trade, I'm throwing you some money. I appreciate those too. However it is you want to do it, message me, guys. Okay, if you're looking to help to contribute to the show in whatever way it is, or you're looking to get something out of the show, whatever it may be, send me a message. We'll figure it out, because we are going through this transition phase from TikTok to Twitch. Message me, we'll work something out, and whatever, try to streamline it as best as we can, so that way the show is continued to be supported, and we're continuing to create revenue so that we can pay the staff here, and so that you guys are getting that information and getting what you need. So just reach out to me. I'm going to start saying that from now on. Reach out to me, send me a message. If you're looking to contribute to the show in any way, you're more than welcome to message me, even if you haven't subscribed yet, because you are basically going to be paying for your subscription in a different way. And that is actually better for the show. And like I said, we are moving away from TikTok. So I don't want to be selling TikTok subscriptions to you guys. I want to work out a new system and a new way to do this. So reach out to me and we'll figure it out. All right. And remember, you can send whispers on Twitch, or you can message me on TikTok, either way. But remember, if TikTok disappears or we get banned or whatever it may be, we have Twitch as our medium in between for just in case. So you can always message me here on Twitch as well. I don't check the messages here very often because I don't receive any. But if you are messaging me on Twitch and I'm starting to get those regularly, I'll check it more regularly. But I haven't really. I'll check it, but I'm not checking it as often lately because nobody's messaging me on it. But I do want to encourage everyone to start using Twitch, because I do want to get to a point where we're just done with TikTok. I mean, look at us now. We're 100% on Twitch right now because TikTok has banned us. We're banned until May 6th. And here we are. So we're still doing the show. We're still growing. And we're not really getting new viewership from Twitch, which is fine. And that's kind of why I still have TikTok around, because every live show on TikTok, we tend to grab 1 or 2 people from TikTok and bring them into Twitch. And that's how it's going to end up growing that way. So we got to kind of figure this out. Who knows? We may end up going to YouTube. Yep. We're banned on TikTok. But like I said, we may end up going to YouTube because YouTube may be able to facilitate the sub-only videos and things like that. We're going to see. But for right now, it's Twitch. We're getting a lot of interference. Here's what. I don't know what's going on. We're getting a lot of interference in the audio. It's been, you know what? It's the solar flares. The internet, everything's been having issues. All of the electrical equipment is like getting like weird. And we're inside of a Faraday cage and I'm still getting all this stuff. So I think they said that the solar flare went from like a 3, 4 to a 5, which is the highest level at a 5. So maybe it is a solar flare. Maybe it's directed energy weapons. Maybe it's cyber attacks. Who knows what it is? We don't know. But that's why TikTok banned us, because we said that something is happening and that we should be prepared. So who knows? Who knows? Let's go over the charts one last time. Nothing's really changed. Nothing's changed at all, except for the fact that XRP, oh shit. I gotta zoom out again. Keep doing that. That back here. Bear with me just a moment. I think that's actually more accurate like that. Bear with me just a moment. All right, that's pretty close. I mean, I guess I could refresh it, go back to my original lines. But so if we go into the 1 minute, we're hugging that line. See, I moved it. Now it shows that it's below it. We're hugging the line. The line's really up here. That's where the line's at. So we're kind of getting close to it, but nothing's really happening. I've been having internet issues, but have satellite internet, so that makes sense. Yeah, I have Starlink. Let's see here. So I gotta fix these lines now because I accidentally moved it. There we go. Well, that's probably even more accurate than it was. So we're still kind of in here, and we're just basically forming a new wedge in the tip of this wedge, which is still an upward looking wedge. So we got to keep an eye on it. Have a good night. Show's basically over, guys. We're going to end a little bit earlier tonight because we're going to be working on the studio. More than likely, there's going to be no live tomorrow or no live Friday. Or, oh, tomorrow's Friday. Okay. So we'll see. Probably no live tomorrow. Just an FYI, because we're going to be moving equipment into the studio and setting things up. So we're going to need that 3 days to get the equipment moved. Otherwise, it's going to be delayed and have to happen next weekend, or we're going to have to not have the live for 3 days during the week when things are happening when we have the show. So I'm trying to line it up as best we can, but it also is based on construction, how the construction's going. So as soon as the carpet is laid, the equipment starts getting moved in. So we shall see what happens. Hopefully the carpet gets laid tonight and it's done and over with. But I have a feeling that it's not even going to happen to start tonight. It's going to probably end up starting tomorrow, and then that means no live tomorrow. And moving of all the equipment. So bear with me. The weather's bad. Oh, man. Is it really? Yeah. Okay. And bad weather, so shoot. So yeah, I would expect no live tomorrow. I'd say there's a 99% chance that there's not going to be a live tomorrow. If something crazy happens, like we're going to $4, obviously I'm going to hop on with my phone or something. But it wouldn't be the regular show. It would be an emergency live. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure you have those emergency alerts and you're signed up for it, so you get those alerts with the email alert system, guys. And I think that's it. Oh, yeah. And send in some donations. Donations are much needed now more than ever. So thank you all. Do you think 240? I think it's possible. I think it's possible, but I think it's probably going to be more like 235, 238, maybe 240, or it wicks above, or it'll do like 245, 244, and then it'll be done. But I don't think so. We're going to just have to watch. So I wouldn't say it's going to go either direction. It could literally just hit 225, double top, and come back down. So make sure you have your alerts turned on for the email alert system. and you are keeping an eye on it, because I will be posting those videos when I feel like we're about to have a breakout. But as of right now, we could either see 225, 230, 235, 240, or 245, or we start breaking down and we start falling out and we're headed to, 155 to, I would say we're much lower than that now. I would say 145 to 130, 125. So keep your notifications on, and have a good evening, everybody. I'll see you later. Cheers to you. By the way, if you didn't know it already, there is a little icon on the bottom. It says bits. It looks like the Ethereum symbol. If you click that, you can send like little things, kind of like on TikTok when you send like the goats and the roses and the lightning bolts. It's very similar to that. But donations is the best way to give. So if you haven't donated yet and you feel compelled to, or you can financially, go ahead and send a donation. Thank you all. And don't forget, if you missed a live, all the lives are uploaded to YouTube. So you can search out YouTube, Oz the Crypto Goat, and you can find recordings of all of the lives.